Guys, guess who was talking for 10 minutes, not realizing that my camera wasn't started? This one here. If you don't know who this one here is, my name is Zuri. Welcome to my little space. We call it Talk Your Ernie to Me because I want to talk your Ernie to you for a while. And if I could have you talking your Ernie back and hear you, I would, because no one talks your Ernie with me except you all. So I did. I swear I started my recording, and I swear I even saw the little red things counting. I don't know, but it's nowhere to be found, so I guess I didn't. I'm crazy. I was just talking to myself for a while. Anyway, let's just start over then. So it's been what, a couple of weeks since I hung out with you, maybe a week or 2 weeks, I don't recall. Probably a week, because I don't have much done. I only have one thing done, and I'll show it to you right now. The rest is like projects that I'm working on that you've seen, and then one new project. So this should not be long. So the one finished object is just like my vanilla crochet beanie, double crochet beanie. This is my car project, pretty much, that I take to soccer with me because I'm no longer allowed at soccer practice per my teenager. And so I just sit in the parking lot and I watch, and that's what we do. And I give my constructive criticism after, if I pay attention. Sometimes I go walk around the park too, but a lot of times I'll just sit and crochet. So this one usually stays in my purse. This is made with the Karen Colorama Ogo yarn that I scored for like $2 or $3 at Michael's two years ago. And I made my father-in-law blanket with this, and he loves it. He still uses it. I used a different color to make my mother-in-law blanket, and I had a ton left over. So now I'm working through those with hats. This is the last Ogo of, it was only even half of one I found stuffed in the back of, it was like a half of Ogo I found stuffed in the back of a closet. And so I made another hat that I showed you guys last time. I made this one today, and I started another one, but I think I'm gonna frog it, and I'll show you why. So these, have like 5 color changes. This is like a dark, very dark gray, right? And then it goes to this like beigey color. The problem is that when I finished this, I had just a little bit of the dark gray left. It was like enough for like the first round, and so it makes the hat look like a nipple. And so I think I'm gonna frog it and get rid of this here, because I feel like even once I put it on, like it's still gonna just look like a nipple. So we're just gonna get rid of it and we start over. Just cut out this little bit here. But that's what's going on. This is just gonna probably go back into my purse for the next time I'm sitting around, and probably the next time. Oh, it's fall break, so the soccer schedule kind of follows the public school schedule around here. So when it's like spring break or fall break or whatever, they don't have practice or games that week. So next week we don't have practice or games. So I don't know. I can't think of any other time I'll be sitting around. So maybe I'll just work on this. Maybe I'll leave it. Maybe I'll just work on it. I do want to like get a bunch together for donation. It's October, but even right now it's 87 degrees here in Atlanta. So it's not going to be cold for another month at least. But I still want to like start rounding up everything I'm going to donate. So we'll see if I just knock that out. Even today, it doesn't take very long. So there's that. Go ahead and stick them back. My purse is right here. Just stick them back in my purse right now. Well, this doesn't need to go in there, but this is. Yeah, I finished that other one in the car, like just on Monday. Doing practice. So there's that. Second thing I'm show you guys is my filet blanket. As you recall, this is made with Karen Skinny Cakes in the color Baked Alaska. And that's one of the colors from not this current selection of Skinny Cakes, but like the release from about 2 years ago. So I got them all on clearance when they clearanced them out for $5. I went to every Michael's like within 40 miles of me probably, looking for a specific one that and then I finally found it. Like after I gave up, I finally found one more of that specific, because I found one the first day that I went looking for them when I heard they were on clearance. It's called, I don't remember, it's called Melon something. And it was one, and I didn't know the name because the wrapper was missing. But I bought it because it was so pretty. And then I was looking everywhere, went to every Michael's I could think of, trying to find it. And everywhere they had tons of Baked Alaska. They had a few other colors, like the plum pudding one, the one that has like a lot of purples and yellows, I think. I got a bunch of those, but I could never find it. And after I was like, all right, I'm done. I'm not buying no more of these. I happened upon it one day, and I was like, so I have two of those. I have to think of something really special for it. But so this is Baked Alaska. I'm on my second cake, and we're about a little more than halfway done with this cake. This is the project that is going twice as slow as it should be, because each of these, every time I finish like one of these little repeats to make the squares, and then go to like the next repeat to make the alternate square, I realize I find somewhere that I miscounted. I messed up the count, and almost without a doubt, the miscount is like, so these are 6-row repeats. Those miscounts are always either like in the first or second row. And I know I just need to do my due diligence and like before, like right when I switch, like make sure the counts are right. But I never do, and I never learn. So even this last one I just did here, I redid it on Friday. I was all done. I redid it, and I started this one here. And yeah, I found a mistake, and then I had to tink all the way, not tink frog, all the way back to like this second row here, and I fixed it, I thought, and then I got past it, and then I came back, turned my work and came back down and realized I'd made like the same mistakes. I'd frog it back again. But this was like a project lately I've been doing like during the day when I'm at work. Like in between other things, it's just something I have in my lap. So I might be in a meeting, I might be waiting for something to finish, like doing things, or just might be like taking like a 2-minute brain break and just doing it. And so like there's not always a lot of time to well, there is time. Like I don't take the time to count, because this is probably not the project to do when I have other thoughts, but it is what it is. This stitch marker doesn't mean anything. It's just so that next time I show you this, I know how much progress I've made, because I have no idea. But it's not a lot. Anyway, but we're gonna finish it. Because I'm thinking of taking it when we go to the Bay Area, San Francisco, whatever, this month, to gift to our hosts. If we go, because we may have to postpone that trip for some family health reasons, but hopefully not. So this one's there, putting this back in this little bag. So there's this one. And then this project has gotten a lot of love from me. Actually, hold on, let me show you this one first. So this, you've been seeing this for a couple of years now. This is my son's blanket. I have been giving this one a little bit of love almost every day. It's just so wide that these rows take forever to do. But from last week to here, this is the amount of progress I've made. This is the last row of squares that I'm gonna do. It's just like another, I guess I just love a good checkerboard pattern. I really do, actually. I love a good checkerboard pattern. And so, yeah, I try to do at least one row on this. This is another one I do at work. Sometimes it just sits right here. This is my work desk, so it just sits right here. And I do it. We are, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We are just a little under, we're halfway through with this last row, and then I gotta figure out a border, because I don't think I'm gonna have enough of these yarns left to put a border on in the color it is. I think I'm gonna do an I-cord border, which is gonna take probably, the size of this blanket, it's gonna take probably a whole close to a skein, just to put the border on, but that's fine. I'll probably just do it in a different black or a different gray, or a different blue or a different gray or white or something. I'm not white, black or something, but that's coming along. And then this project has gotten a lot of love from me, because I love this project so much, guys. I'm gonna have such a hard time letting this go. So this is my Bridgerton inspired blanket that I'm making for my friend. Oh, so pretty. Okay. So I think when I last showed it to you, we were like right here. So, and I showed you all the colors I had. So I made one other changes, because I added this color in. This is not a big twist yarn. This is a Red Heart Super Saver. And the reason is because, so I had these ones that I showed you, right? I showed you all the colors I had since I had black and white, right? So I had like the purple. So if you recall, my friend wanted me to make her a Bridgerton inspired blanket, and she didn't care. Like, I was like, well, do you want inspired by the colors, inspired by the characters, what? She's like, I don't care as long as it's Bridgerton inspired. And I'm not as big a fan of it as she is. I've seen like one season, the most recent season, and I've seen Queen Charlotte, so I don't know. Like the first 2 seasons, I know all about them, but I'm not super invested in the characters or like the themes or anything. But I know enough to know enough. And so I was like, well, I was at the store and I was like kind of looking at colors that kind of captured the vibe of some of the characters. I texted her and I was like, well, who's your favorite character or your favorite couple? And she's like, oh, Kate and Anthony. And I was like, okay. And so one thing I know with Bridgerton is kind of like, especially like when the couples are not together, especially the women, they tend to wear like deep colors of like whatever like their kind of signature colors are, and then as the season progresses and they come together, like it softens up, or you know, it'll go from like because Bridgertons are definitely like represented with blues. They wear a lot of blues, and so like they'll either, you know, they'll like, the women especially will kind of like gravitate more to blues or things like that. So with Kate, I know like a lot of pictures of her earlier in the season, she's wearing like these like deep purples and teals and things like that. And then as the season progresses, her colors soften up. And so that's kind of what I kind of went with, is that these are like, so I did like some like these purples and teals and greens to represent Kate, and then like shades of blue to represent Anthony, who is the Bridgerton in this couple. And so me, I have to have like my brain, I have to have some kind of symmetry, some kind of pattern. So I was like, how can I arrange these to make sense? And so, you know, first I decided to do like a Kate color, Anthony color, Kate color, Anthony color. And then I decided to go like from the darker to the lighter to represent them like coming together. And then I was like, it's gotta be symmetric. And so I thought about it after I was talking to you guys last week, because I remember I said, I was like, maybe I'll go get one more color. Because just even the size of it, I had 6 colors, and that each of these rows is about 7 inches. So 6 times, it's like 42 inches. It's not a good, you know, this is like 49 across. 42 is not bad for a lap gam. I like, you know, wanted something a little bit bigger. So I was like, I think I'm gonna either need to get one more color or like incorporate black or white in there somewhere. And then I was like, you know what I can do, because I already had this purple, and then I have this like lilac-y color. I was like, which is, you know, a lighter shade. I have this teal. It's like, if I can find like a aqua, you know, which is like a lighter version, then I can kind of make it so that the colors go to like a lighter shade of it. And then because I love symmetry, I was like, okay, we start with the purples on the outside and then go to the greens, and then so we're gonna have green and then purple, so that way it's symmetric, because that's gotta be symmetric or my brain will explode. So I was looking all around, because I was like, I know I got tons of teal in my stash. So I was digging through my boxes. I could not find any teal, and then I was like, you know what? I think I gave all of my teal away when I did those mystery boxes the last time. Like I remember I feel like I remember putting them in mystery boxes. I think I had like some complementary colors like that went with like the teals that I had, because I think it was in Karen Jumbo. I think I had teals in Karen Jumbo or Karen 1 Pound, one of the others. And I was like, man, gave them all away. I was like, well, you know, I can run to Joann at some point and get, you know, one of these in like a teal minty color. Then I remembered, I was like, I know I recently bought one. And so I went and dug in my trunk, and I found this Red Heart Super Saver one in the color Aruba Sea. So that's what we're working with. I have each of these rows, like the big twist, you get exactly 13 of these rows of, this is called the Vine Stitch. Can you guys see that? You have like these little intermediary I'll do it here, double crochets with like this puffs, these climbing puffs, you know, puff stitches, and I think it's really, this is probably like fast becoming my favorite stitch. It's just so elegant looking. But I tend to get about I get 13 rows with the big twist. So I just finished row 10. I'm hoping that this is enough to get me 3 more rows. It's looking a little close. So I'm hoping this is enough to get me 3 more rows, because this is an older, I feel like I found this in the clearance at Joann or somewhere, but it's from 2022. And I know Super Saver didn't used to be like super dye lot heavy, but I've heard more lately that it has been. So hopefully if I need to go find some more, I can. Or we'll see. If it's really close, like if I get 12 rows instead of 13, I feel like that's not going to be super noticeable, and I'll live with it. But we'll see. I don't know that I want to buy a whole, as much as I love, you guys know I love a good aqua, minty, whatever color. As much as I love it, I don't think I want to buy a whole nother one of these specifically. Because it's super safe. Like working with, I know that as soon as I wash it, it's going to be like the softest thing ever. But like the difference between this and here is like, it's so noticeable just working with it. But I love it. So it's so cute. I love it. It's so pretty. So then once I finish this one, then we're going to have this and then this. So that's what we're going to do. So that's, can you see my vision? And then I'm going to border it in black. And we'll be good. We'll be done. So this is going really well. I'm loving working on it. Let me fold you up for now. Put you down here. Oh, I didn't show you this. This is just my knit hat with the, what are you called? KNC wool Lux, right? Merino Lux Merino. The KNC Merino roving one. That's a Malabrigo dupe. It's this. So this is just something I also work on. Like when I'm here at work, I'll do a few rows. So it's growing. I'm not in a rush with this one. Like I said, it's still almost 90 degrees here in Atlanta. But that's another one I wouldn't mind being finished before I go to the Bay Area, because even in the summer here it gets cold. And like our project manager at work, he lives in Sacramento. He was telling me, like, I was telling me, yeah, we're gonna come out that way, you know, and we might meet up, because we're actually not staying. We're staying in Fairfield, which I think is a little closer to him. We're not staying in San Francisco. I think it's like it's a little ways. I feel like it's an hour and a half or something, or 45 minutes, or I don't remember. I looked it up. But yeah, he was like, oh yeah, I got friends there. I go see them all the time. You know, we maybe, you know, if we get a chance, we'll meet up for coffee. And he was just giving me like some advice on like where to go and like basic stuff like, don't take your laptop and you know, be careful with your phone, things like that. But he was like, yeah, make sure you dress warm. It's gonna be like, it's always chilly. So there are a few warm things that I'd like to take. Speaking of which, that's my new project. I got the bright idea last week that I want to make a sweater scarf. Have you guys seen the sweater scarves? I don't know if they're still super popular now, but I think they were a craze a couple years ago. It's like these sleeve scarves. So it has like a little bit of a sleeve, and then the rest is just like open scarf where you wrap it around a couple of times and then you put your arms through, and it kind of makes like this almost like off the shoulder sweater wrap thing. And I was like, I want to make one. So that's what I started. And this is largely freehand. I did watch a couple videos and got some ideas, but I didn't love the construction or like the process of like, I wasn't married to any of them. And I was like, I think I can get this on my own. And so that's what I did. And here, I'll show you. This is it so far, what I got. One sleeve. And the idea is that I've got my sleeve up to here. And for this, I just did like a single crochets in the black loop around and around and around to make a cuff. I seamed it together. And originally, because I was originally following a tutorial, so originally I cut it because that's what she did. And like she made the 2 cuffs and then set them aside. And then she made the scarf part, you know, just solid, like, you know, how many ever stitches across. And then you just like kind of attached it, but because it's so much, there's size differences so much, like it's like a kind of, I didn't love it kind of because it kind of balloons it out. So I was like, no, I think I can do it different. And if I'd have realized that's what she was gonna do, I wouldn't have tied this off and cut it. I would have just started doing this in the round. So these here are, let me take this off. This part here, which is the sleeve part, is half double crochets in the third loop, which is the little loop. Can you see here? They're so hard to explain, but with half double crochets you have, let me see if I can show it here. I'm not gonna be able to show it really well. Behind the stitch there's a third loop that you can stitch into, and when you do that, it turns the top two, like the actual top two stitches, it turns them out. So they lay flat like this. It gives you like this cool little ridge. So that's just what I decided to do, was just kind of, like I said, I'm freehanding it, so it's kind of on a whim. I increased like every 4 stitches, I want to say. And then once I got about to, this is probably much longer of a sleeve than I need. Most of the ones I've seen have had like kind of shorter sleeve areas, but I don't mind it. I like it. It goes past my elbow. I started working back and forth, and I'm increasing every other row now. So I'll do that until it's like as wide as I want it, and then I'll knit like straight for a while without increasing, and then I'll start decreasing again, and then I'll join and do the other side. This is what I'm gonna try to do. So I'm gonna try to work the rest of this without seaming anything up. So I'll join it again, work the third loops again, decrease, and then do probably the, what is it, the join as you go for my for this cuff. So yeah, I think I'm gonna try to do this all by myself, freehand. We'll see. Cross fingers. This is with Scarfie. Didn't I show you? I think I showed you. I found like this Scarfie in this color, which is called Steel Blue and Slate, like on clearance at Michael's for a couple of dollars. I had like 5. Can you see? No, you can't see. Hold on, let me turn you this way. See on the couch there? That's like 5 more of those. So I got a bunch of those. I went and dug out because I was like, I want to make it with Scarfie. And I was like, let me see what I have a lot of. So I had a bunch of these, and then another color. I think it was another one that was heavy on the gray or heavy on the blue. I don't remember which. But I went with this one. And yeah, I'm not gonna use all 5 of those though. So we'll see. I mean, maybe this is just an experiment. Maybe I'll try like something similar with those, or we'll see. I'm gonna try to use them up though. Probably make a hat to go with it or something. But you know, Scarfie, I always forget because Scarfie is roving, but I feel like you can treat it generally as a 4-weight. But it's like like in the actual wear, it's pretty like it's thick. Like the actual fabric you get tends to be like very thick, like a 5-weight. Like it's very you know, it's thick. Whereas like it knits up, you knit and crochet, you can use, you know, the same needle or hook that you would for a 4-weight and you'd be fine. But yeah, like it's still gonna be like a super warm thing. And I always forget because you don't need there's nothing in Georgia. There's probably 1 week in Georgia when you really can use a heavy, like a thick outerwear. But because this is just gonna be a scarf with some sleeves, I think we're gonna be good. I mean, the way that you wear it, you wrap it, and it turns out like you can wear it as just an outer, like a sweater. So it's gonna be a little bit heavy and a little bit thick, but that's all right. Hopefully it'll be cute. Maybe we'll have a cold summer. I mean, a cold winter this year. I don't know, but that's what I've been working on. I think it's really cute. We'll see. This is my first time really doing like a full sleeve. I just kind of guessed on the increasing, and it's working out fine. Like I kept trying it on just to see, like, make sure it wasn't too tight or too loose. I think it's almost perfect, which is good. It gives me a lot of confidence. Like if I do want to make a long sleeve garment at some point, that I know how to do it. So that's cool. And we're gonna keep going. So it's gonna be long. It's gonna have to wrap around my body like twice, and then so you wrap it around, and I don't know. I'm sure you guys have seen them. I'm not explaining it well, but maybe once it gets longer, I can show you guys what I'm talking about a little bit better than I can tell you. That's where we're at. That's what I'm doing. Anything else going on? I'll show you. You know what? I'm going to show you. This right here is my scrap blanket that I've been making. We are so close to done, so I'm going to show you now because it's really pretty. It is so big. Move my chair out of the way. I'm gonna see how close I am to finish. Okay, so that's the. Look at that. That's all I got left. Can you guys see that? This is all I have left. There's not a good way to show you this corner though. So here, and then all I have left is this corner here. So this is I don't know, maybe like 16, 17 rows. I have to count. So we're trucking along. I was hoping hoping to get it done by the end of the year. I don't know if I will, just because I don't be having like lots and lots of scraps, not long scraps. We're down to the part where I don't need like big scraps anymore to get across. So then it's gonna start decreasing faster and faster. Ooh, it is heavy. My arm is tired. Oh my gosh. But yeah, it's really pretty. So just depending on what I work on going forward, you know, I just don't want to have had a lot of worsted weight projects that I've been doing. Like this blanket that I'm doing, the Bridgerton blanket is worsted weight, and I have been adding the scraps. But even that, like don't have a ton of scraps. I don't have a ton of scraps from this project because I have like just enough yarn pretty much to finish. So like the scrap ball will be maybe this big. I had one as small as this, like, you know, this. The only one that I had, for some reason, and I thought I did something wrong. I had a ton left when I did this blue part here, this one, this is Varsity Blue. And I'm counting, before I cut it, I was like, let me make sure I have the right number of rows. Like, there cannot be this much left, but it was a ton left. But it's all there. I made sure. So I don't know why. Maybe that one just happened to have, like, that skein just happened to have like extra yarn or something. I don't know. But yeah, like, so this project, not a ton of scraps, even though I'm using a lot of yarn. My hats, you know, when I make these hats, oftentimes I'll go until I run out, you know, and then I'll switch a color if I need to, but you know, there won't be a lot left. So there's just nothing I'm doing right now that's like scrap heavy, which is why that's taking a while, but it's okay. I'm gonna put you back. Actually, I'll just put you in here. I'm gonna carry this back in because I'm actually gonna work on this. I'm gonna try to get through these last 3 rows today. I'm gonna head back upstairs, and then I'll take this and work on this. That is what is going on. I'll just drop my hook. What is going on with you guys? Let me know. Comment. I don't mind comments. I'll be, you know, I like comments or something. If you're just now discovering me, like, welcome to my channel. Okay, wait, this one's on the floor. No, you go with, what do you go with? I think you go with you. I'm mixing stuff up. Yeah, if you're just discovering me, welcome. What was I gonna say? I have no idea where I was going. Welcome. I'm enjoying having you guys here. I like talking to you guys. Feel free to comment. Feel free to like. Feel free to subscribe. All of the things. And then until then, I will talk to you guys soon. Hopefully, we'll have a little more to show you as far as finished projects next time. And yeah, we'll talk then. Anyway, I'll talk to you later. Bye bye.